I think
Hello.
I'm living on another planet right now.
I don't even know where I am right
How
now.
are you? You're going to Vegas tomorrow.
I'm going to Vegas tomorrow for a fantasy football convention, a women's fantasy football convention.
Ooh.
And I'm so excited. I don't want to brag, but I'm pretty good at fantasy. Although the reality is that my brother helps me with some of it.
Okay.
I'm his protege, and you always have to draft before the games really start, and you want to draft right up until the first game in case anybody gets hurt or you get wind of contract disputes or whatever it is. You want to draft as close to the beginning of the season as possible.
Gotcha. Well, you're going to have your hands full, just like we have had our hands full with this incredible book, guys. Welcome everybody to A Novel Bunch. If you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, comment, all that fun YouTube stuff. And if you're listening on a platform like Audible or iTunes and you are loving the vibes, please feel free to leave a review for us. It really helps us to connect with our fellow book-loving community. Now today, we are going to be covering the final chapters, chapter 35 through 46 of A Court of Thorns and Roses. And I can't believe we're done. How did this happen? I feel like it was yesterday, Molly, that you're telling me, oh my gosh, we have to read it. And you were begging me for so long.
Begging. I begged you for years. Years, Alyssa, I begged you.
I
I
am just
begged you for years.
devastated. I'm devastated I waited, but also low-key very happy because now I have the memories of us on our podcast reading it
So cute.
together.
And true.
Because it's my favorite. I love it so
It's
much.
on the internet forever now, along with the fact that I take Lexapro. It's there forever. And I'm proud of both.
Well, so the first chapter we have is chapter 35, right? Like we've got a lot to cover and I have so much I want to talk to you about because so much has happened in these last chapters.
We are about to piss off so many people because I am firmly Daddy Rhysand. And you are strong in your Daddy Tamlin. Yeah, even
Of
the
course.
eye roll, bitch. Did you guys see her just roll her eyes at me? For the people just listening, she just did it. I just got
I'm sorry. So sorry. I've never noticed how much I eye roll than when I edit these back. I'm like,
sure.
geez, I'm a little
No, bitch, you
aggressive
say
with
that
it.
shit with your chest. You like Daddy Cam. You say that shit with your
No,
chest.
I do. Are we reading the same book?
Wait, now listen, he's hot AF, and I loved him. And then, well, let's get into it.
All right, let's get into it. Chapter 35. Start us off, baby girl.
Feyre wakes up in a cell. She just got the ever-loving shit beat out of her.
Mm-mm.
Blaming herself for Claire Bador's death, obviously, and she promises herself she's going to make this right. And then Lucien appears. Thank God. Danny McBride. I'm dying. I sent Alyssa a picture of Danny McBride in Your Highness. And he's like head to toe in like olden days regalia. And she's like, this is it. Did you AI this? And I was like, no, bitch. This is a movie he did.
It's real. I literally thought you ate. I was like, how'd she get this? Anyways, go on.
It's perfect. Lucien appears. He fixes her nose, right? Because she's broken, bloody, and tells her, please don't die. And I'm like, yeah, she'll get right on that, champ.
Also, Lucien had said about his magic after fixing her nose, Amarantha gave me back a fraction of my power to entice Tamlin to accept her offer to be his lover. But he still refuses her.
Dude,
Thank God.
I love it. I love
See,
it.
that's why I love Daddy Tam.
Of course. I love Daddy Tam and I love Lucien and I love their friendship and I'm here for it. I just
It's
wish
the
that,
best.
yeah, Daddy Tam had a little more therapy. Feyre is brought to Amarantha, who is very charming, it would appear. She's not the hottest, they say. She's not like the most stunning of the High Fae, but she's very, very charming, and it's very clear from the jump why she's been able to trick all these High Lords into doing her bidding, right?
Yep. Yep.
And then Rhysand appears. And Amarantha demands her name and brings Lucien forward and says, if you don't tell me your name, I'm going to kill him. And his four brothers are watching and they're filled with hate. I hate Lucien's family. I have a soft spot for his mom because I think she means
Yep.
well, but the rest of them are pieces of shit. Right before Daddy Rhys is supposed to torture him, she screams her true name, Feyre.
So why do you think, though, that they want her name so badly?
Great question. I actually didn't think about why they're so hell-bent
Like,
on
why
her.
do you want the name?
Maybe to find her family later on, maybe
Ah,
like torture, like just really, mess with her. But Amarantha says you can do, like, let's make a little bargain. She's cheeky. She likes to make things interesting, right? So she says either you complete these 3 tasks, and if you survive them, I'll let everybody go. I'll let Tamlin go, I'll let his court go, or you can answer my riddle, and if you answer it correctly, you're all free immediately. But if you don't, you're dead. And do you want to read what the riddle was?
Yes, of course.
Give it to us.
So, Amarantha's riddle. There are those who seek me a lifetime, but never we meet, and those I kiss, but who trample me beneath ungrateful feet. At times I seem to favor the clever and the fair, but I bless all those who are brave enough to dare. By large, my ministrations are soft-handed and sweet, but scorned, I become a difficult beast to defeat. For though each of my strikes lands a powerful blow, when I kill, I do it slow.
Do you have any idea what the answer to the riddle is?
Not a clue. Literally, I've reread it multiple times and I go, what is this?
Correct.
Truly, just, I had no clue.
And then when she solves it, you're just like, oh my God.
You're like, duh. Yeah. I know. It really is a beautiful answer when we get there. And then finally, someone comes to fetch her, and the full moon is here.
It's time to throw down.
Whew.
It's time to throw down. Task number 1. Let's go. Chapter 36.
36.
Feyre is brought into some kind of arena. She gets pushed because Rhysand has told Amarantha she's a huntress. She's tasked with killing this horrific worm. It's called the Middengarn worm. And I don't know if you've been doing this, but while I'm reading, I'll Google so I can get like a visual. Obviously, I have my little inserts.
Yes.
A picture of the Middengarn word, but
Let me see.
This nasty worm thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Big.
There's Daddy.
Okay, I never knew it was like that.
Oh, it's a massive. For those of you who are just listening, it's like a God. It looks like a enlarged skin cell. That's not a good description. God, it's like a giant hole with layers and layers and layers.
Even better. We're doing real well with our descriptions, Molly.
It's a giant.
I like that. And who else was in that photo you said?
Daddy
Rhysand?
is up at the top, clocking everything.
Why is he watching her? This guy's got to take a chill pill.
He's obsessed with her. I don't know what's going on. He's always around.
Yeah.
I have no idea why.
Well, and speaking of him, Amarantha, first of all, she was dressed, I gotta tell you, some of her clothes, I'm just like, oh my gosh, yes. It was a gown of literal rubies. And you know, I just love those bold colors. I'm like, oh my God, I'd love to see what that looked like in real life. But she calls for Rhysand. She's like, Rhysand? And then Feyre says, my heart became a weight at those casual strolling steps sounding from behind. They stopped when they were beside me, far too close for my liking. So he likes to get like real close to this girl.
Oh yeah, Daddy Rhys likes to get right in there.
And then Amarantha asks Rhysand, have you ever seen Feyre before? And he's like, humans all look alike to me. I go, you liar. You little liar. He definitely knows he saw her on Calamai.
Protecting her. He's defending her.
Yeah, yeah,
He's,
of course.
Like, for some reason, it appears as though he's kind of playing both sides of the field.
Yeah. Real quick, on Rhys's power, Feyre had said Amarantha must have allowed him more power than the others than if he could still inflict such harm while leashed to her, or else his power before she'd stolen it had been extraordinary for this to be considered the remnants of it. She's seen a lot of stuff happen with Rhysand and what he can do and go into the mines. I feel like Feyre, and I thought the same when I was reading this, I go, damn, like he must be real powerful outside of this. So what happens next? They're at the trial. We got the
He's
big...
pushed into the arena, and the like most fucking epic battle ensues. The one thing that Sarah J. Maas made very clear was that it smells horrific, and then you find out why. Because he eats stuff, and then he like shits it out and vomits it out, and it just hardened, and I just can't even imagine how disgusting it is in this place of just the waste of this nasty giant worm. There's a maze. She's going in and out. She's like sliding herself through the wall. She's desperate to get away. And then she falls through this little hole. And she notices there's bones everywhere. Like, holy shit, this worm has been eating all kinds of shit. And she, the brilliant little survivor that she is, she starts making a ladder to get out of the hole with it. And she starts making this like bone trap to call the worm in so that hopefully it'll land in this hole and die, pierce itself and die. As she gets out, she doesn't hear the worm. All the fairies are cheering and laughing and making fun of her and all this stuff, and then it gets really silent, and she hears a voice scream on your left, and it's Lucien's voice.
Yeah.
It is, I just loved.
It made me so happy. I was like, yes,
But
that
I
is her friend.
yes, Amaranth, fuck his ass up for that.
1000%. Like, it's not going to end well for him with doing that for her.
Right. Right. She sees the worm, it gives her enough time to escape, it comes after her, it dives at her, and then it falls tragically to its like disgusting death, but not without her falling out of the way and a bone impaled her. And I said, unfortunately, not the bone she wanted to impale her.
We're back. We are so back, baby. Dude,
We're
our
so
last
back, baby.
we were filthy.
Disgusting.
Just crazy girls. It's our dirty book club.
Book club, bitch. We're in
So
chapter
also
30.
too, Feyre noticed that the worm was blind.
Yes. Yes, correct. Blind, can't see, can't anything, so she covers herself in this nasty stuff so that it can't smell her or sense her. Or taste her,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck it does.
Which shows that she is quite clever. Everything that she
She's
did.
wicked smart. She's a survivor. This is why I love Feyre so much, because she's just such a bad bitch. You can't take her down. Even though mentally it feels like she's about to lose her mind. She's just
Who couldn't at this point?
truly.
How do you think you'd fare doing something like this? Because like, how do you think that would go?
Not great. Listen, I'm competitive as heck, and I'm a fighter, so I think that I would try, but I would not. I don't hunt.
Right?
I had to aim a gun at James Vanderbeek. I was like shaking so hard, and he's like, "You got to aim it at me, or I won't be scared of this." I am not a fighter.
Fun.
CSI Cyber, it was so fun because my character like stalked him. It was this crazy arc, and the final scene where I show up in the garage and I aim my gun at him, and I was so scared because I grew up around Columbine, right? Like guns are scary to me. And we do the first take, and he goes, "Hey, I don't want to tell you how to do your performance. Like you're doing great. Don't worry about that. But I just think that I would be more scared if you actually aimed the gun at me, and it's not as scary if it's to the side." And I was like, fair.
Thank you, Dawson.
Thank you, Dawson. I mean, James.
So, all right, well then we roll into chapter 37, right? At this point, obviously she won. Yeah, she's back in her cell, but she's got an incredibly infected arm, which she starts getting a fever, and she's like, this is not good.
Yep. And I don't think the fairies understand like how fast humans can die from something. They just don't. That's not something that they have to worry about. So she thinks like, I'm gonna die down here. This is only getting worse and worse and worse. And maybe that would be for the best. Just let me die, right? Just let me die. But who shows up?
Your favorite person. Daddy Rhysand.
I mean, she paid him a lot of money because apparently everybody bet on who was going to beat the worm, and only one person said Feyre would win.
And that was Rhys.
And he said, I'm going to return the favor and I'll fix your arm. But if I fix your arm, you have to stay with me for 2 weeks every month when all of this is over, when you win everything. Which, one, love the enthusiasm that you think I'm going to survive this. And two, 2 weeks? What? For what?
Also, what do you want with me? It's kind of wild. Like, there's a big piece of info missing because
our bargain, especially because like as of right now you seem evil and I don't want to stay with you. Yeah, you're hot as shit. Like we knew that back at Calamai, but like you're an evil sick bastard. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So she bargains him down to a week.
Mm-hmm.
She can take the deal and survive, or wait for Tamlin, who, like we guessed, got 20 lashes after trying to save Feyre, and Amarantha made Tamlin do it.
Out of Lucien's eye. It was Lucien's eye, his buddy, he had to pluck it out of, which was like the most devastating thing I ever read, because imagine your best friend, like if I had to do that to you. So
you have to take my eye out and
if I had to take your lashes out, yeah. That's what was happening here. So Amarantha thought she'd be some sneaky girl and say, you do it, Tamlin. You take your best friend's lashes out.
And he did it.
He had to.
Wait, hold on. Lashes like getting lashed, not eyelashes. Right?
I don't know. I
Do you think he plucked his eyelashes out?
That's what I thought, because his eye was taken out previously.
No,
Did I not?
him 20 times so badly that he can't walk. So when he does finally get down there days later, he's like, I'm sorry, this is the first time I could actually. Wait, this is an amazing oopsie. So you thought that she made Tamlin pluck his eyelash?
His lash. You know, I don't read much action, torture, unless it's
Actually,
like
you do, but in a different way.
just a different way. So I read lashes, and I literally thought it was plucking it out.
No,
Isn't that weird? That's how I absorbed that.
That's
But
interesting. Yeah. No, she made him whip the shit out of him. Yeah. Just and that's so sick.
it's sick,
yeah.
but honestly, I'd rather that than the eyelash breaking. Like, don't you think it's actually like a little better?
No, I'd rather you just take a clump and rip them out rather than fucking smack my back 20 times with whatever the heck she made him hit him with.
And he's really strong too, Tamlin. So,
I know.
yeah. So that wasn't really good. I didn't like any of that.
No, but she does agree for Tamlin, because remember, all Feyre has going for her is her love for this man, her true deep love for this man, and so she takes the deal.
That's why she's there, right?
So she takes the deal, they shake hands, and then all of a sudden all these swirls appear on her body and an eye on her palm, and we realize that when you make a bargain like this with Rhysand, your body gets marked. Hot.
It was cool, but I was so bothered because I'm like, Tamlin's gonna have a meltdown over this. And I remember texting you about this. I was like, the second I read about the bargain, I go, oh, I better be able to read about this in book 2. Just setting that up, I know this is going to be chaos. Like, I can't even imagine what's to come.
And he says as much. Rhysand says, this is going to piss your boy off. So good luck. Like, it seems like
so cheeky.
He's so cheeky. I love it.
I do too.
So sweet. And while absolutely, I love that too. I'm more of I like the Rhysand kind of foreplay. I like to just like dog each other.
Of course.
I need to talk to my therapist about it some more, maybe.
There we go into chapter 38, and Feyre is doing her chores because apparently she's got to do chores when she's down in her little cell. Yep. And she's looking at her new tat on her hand, and she goes, like, in her palm, is this an eye looking at her?
It feels like it's looking at her and watching everything.
Which that would kind of creep me out.
That would suck. I'd be like, get out of here.
I wouldn't like that at all. I'd be stressed out.
You're like,
They'd love it. If Rhys is watching, he'd be like, yeah, girl. Yeah, Feyre, keep going, girl.
So true. So true.
And then Lucien's mom, she comes down to her cell, the lady of the Autumn Court, and she says, forgiving your name in place of my son's life, and turns the water clean so Feyre won't get spit roasted.
Which is what she threatened to do. She's going to spit. If you don't do these chores, I'm going to spit roast you. That's what they do to pigs. They put them on the thing, and then they just slowly turn them around while it cooks. And that's like...
My gosh.
They actually, fun fact, they did that on Queen of the South. The, cartel spit roasted one of the guys, and it was, the main evil guy. And you find we're all eating tacos, and it's not until later that
when you don't know what you're...
Tacos are the guy.
Cool.
But all these tasks that they're giving her are impossible. They say, clean all this up, but they give her nasty, dirty water. So, she's going, each task, she's going to die. So thank goodness Lucien comes down, and she's, very regal and very much you saved my son's life. I'll turn the water clear, and I'm out. Don't you forget it. Now we're fair. We're even, whatever. And then she dips. Thank God.
And then Feyre is tasked with separating the lentils from the embers before the owner of the room comes back.
Cinderella.
Another impossible task, and then all of a sudden, your boy, Rhysand, appears, and he goes, as wonderful it is to see you, Feyre, darling. Do I want to know why you're digging through my fireplace? So yet again, he's just always bantering with her. And she's like, oh, shit. And she didn't know she was in his room. She had no idea.
Of course not. I love that she was in his room, though.
And then she asks him, I bet you did, why he lied about Claire, right?
Yeah. He grabbed Claire, and he knew that wasn't the girl, and he did it anyway. She says, why?
He's evil. The evil High Lord
evil?
of the Night Court.
Why he so much?
I don't know. And I it kind of makes me think back to, is there some sort of pawn she is in a greater plan for him, or he might need her. I don't know. Maybe there's something special about her. I'm not sure.
We're
We'll
assuming
see.
the worst, though. We think he's using
Yes.
her. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
He hasn't proven otherwise.
Right?
Yeah. So that's
He's intrigued, but I don't trust him, I guess. Is my
yeah.
whole sitch yet. I don't
And
trust him
that's
quite
fair.
yet.
I do love though that she says only around him did I have trouble keeping my mouth shut, it seems. Like she's so ballsy talking to him and she's talking to a High Lord, like arguably the scariest High Lord, and she
Yeah.
just brings in the riot act all the time. And I love that. What I like is he's bringing that out in her.
Her, yeah. Well, because that's true. She wasn't that way with Tamlin. She never really. I mean, in the beginning, when she didn't care when she thought he was a really bad wolf in their house. She was really, remember, she was
Oh
fiery
yeah.
then with him, and then once they got together, she would never dare speak to him like that. Or Lucien. Well, Lucien she kind of banters with, but in a different
She dogs Lucien
way.
out, but she won't do it with Tamlin. She's like, there's
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of a fear there with him. She loves him and he brings out her sweet side and her sensual side, but not
Yeah.
her strong side.
Yeah. Huh. That's interesting. So I do like that Rhysand brings that out in her because it's fun. It's playful.
Sure. I
It's,
love seeing all different sides to characters.
yeah,
Like this is just a well fleshed out character that Sarah J. Maas
of
created. And
course. And to be in this situation and you're able to have a little bit of
hmm
spunk, that's important. She's got to win this, right? So maybe he's doing it for that. Maybe he just wants to get out of
maybe he wants to be
under
free.
the
I
mountain.
don't
Yeah.
know. Like
Yeah.
Amarantha said, if you get this riddle right, everybody's free. And Feyre asks him, "Do you know the answer to the riddle?" And he says that Amarantha has forbidden anybody from helping her. So by
Mm,
magic, they literally cannot help her. Um, but he snaps his fingers and all the lentils and all the embers are, separated perfectly. And
that
then
I do love with the magic that they can just clean them up like that. They can give them a shower, bathe them. Didn't he do that for her here?
yeah, he cleaned everything up. He snapped his fingers, cleaned everything up, and then he told the guards that came in to get her, he glamored them and said, no more chores for her. She's done
Yeah.
doing chores.
Yeah.
So he is genuinely helping her.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's for a pawn. I don't know if he has a reason. I don't know if he just wants to be free. I don't know if he wants to use her. I don't know.
Kind of getting though, even though I don't fully trust him, I don't know why I feel he's not going to do anything bad to her. I
hmm
think he's going to do bad to a lot of people, or I mean, he has, like we've seen that, right? But I don't know. I think in the grand scheme of things, I think he wants to get out. I think he wants her to win everything. So maybe with less chores or no more chores and just being the best, strongest version of yourself so you can actually have a chance to fight this could maybe be something to do with that. I don't know though. We'll see. We'll find out. We'll find out.
Chapter 39,
Yep.
Rhysand, once again, starting to send her hot meals, so it's not just like moldy bread she's got to pick around, but she is stuck in her cell. She is alone, alone. That always reminds me of the Friends quote. Will and I always do it when they're like, I'm alone, but you're alone, alone. And Ross is like, thanks.
No.
Some fairies, some like dark, scary fairies come to take her and they bathe her and they paint all these crazy swirls all over her body. They do her
Yeah.
hair, her makeup, and they put her in like the smallest, sexiest, like little piece of fabric.
And then with the painted body, Rhysand liked to let us know, Feyre, I don't like my belongings tampered with. So he's doing it because he knows supposedly maybe she might sneak somewhere because maybe Tamlin will be there. And he's got to keep an eye out because now that they have this bargain, he thinks that that's his property.
hmm
Which maybe that's what it means. I don't know yet.
Trying to piss Tamlin off. Because
That's true.
When she shows up to the throne room like she does, and everybody's gaping at her because one, she looks like she's basically naked. You can see absolutely everything. And Amaranth is at the head, and Daddy Tam's on her left, and he is emotionless, except for like a white knuckle grasp on the chair that he's sitting in.
I
So I
know.
think Daddy Reese is doing this just to piss him off.
To get a rise out of him. Well, he even said too, I will let Tamlin know the bargain in a really fun way. Like he was like getting off, like really excited to let him know. And then I am really bothered that Tamlin is not reacting. And I feel like it's because obviously he doesn't want Amarantha to know how much she means to him, but what could happen if he spoke up?
That was always my problem too, is he's so passive with it. He's such a strong, but he's just so passive with all of this. And I understand Amarantha's incredibly powerful. She's using everybody's powers against everybody and
Yeah.
he can't fight back, but like nothing.
But then do you think that if he did something that she'd just kill Feyre right then and there?
Really. Hmm.
And that's maybe why he's like, let me. But it is driving me a little nuts. I'm like, bro.
I know, me too. I eye roll when she looks at him for anything and he's just like,
I know.
that would just be tough to want to fight for that person when they're not giving you anything.
Of course.
But then Rhysand makes her drink the Fae wine. And Feyre goes fuzzy and then dark and she wakes up in her cell. So I don't know what the heck is in that Fae wine, but
Crazy. And Alice even had said too last time,
don't drink
make
it.
sure you don't drink that because it's very different under the mountain than up here. So
It's giving not good.
no, I know. There were a few things that you kind of read and you're like, okay. But then again, there really are zero morals under the mountain. Everyone's just trying to fend for themselves and live and do what they got to do. So that's kind of where we're at. And then Lucien appears at Feyre's cell.
Mhm.
And some of her marks are smudged. And it's always like around the waist and the arms.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she doesn't have any recollection of what happened, how they got there.
In there.
We know.
You
Sorry,
wake
I'm
up-
reading your notes. I know, your notes kill me. Sometimes I have to delete things out of them because I know that I'll say it live.
Someday we'll share that one. Lucien asks, why the heck did you make a deal with Rhysand? This is like the worst thing you ever could have done. And I can feel, I wrote this, I said, I can feel their friendship click into place. Like Lucien clearly cares about her. She's the homie. He's the
Yep.
homie. He's
Yep.
put his life on the line for her. He keeps going down to see her. Like at least he's doing something. 'Cause I don't know where the hell Daddy Tamlin is. But she says, you don't understand. I was about to die. And you Fae don't understand how bad an infection could be for us.
Yep.
And he
Yep.
goes, I've just been able to start walking because I got this shit beat out of me by Tamlin, by the way, and she's sick over that.
So his lashes weren't plucked.
They might have
Got it.
other things happened too.
Oh my gosh, no. But he did tell her, he goes, I would have come as soon as I could, obviously, which we all knew that, but what if it was too late?
I know. She would have been dead by the time he was able
I
to.
think so. I think so.
I absolutely think so. And we also find out that Tamlin is not under a spell,
Ugh.
which is a bummer, but Lucien explains very clearly he's trying his best not to react to anything because Amarantha cannot know how much you affect him. So one half of me is like, totally get it, and the other half of me is like, well,
I know.
Lucien
know.
and Rhysand have been able to sneak down to see you. Daddy Tam can't too?
Thank you. Unless
He
she's
wanted to
got...
be good.
No, I'll be standing up for a fictional character. Listen, she's got close tabs on him. She is the one that she probably is looking at every second because she knows 1 second that her eyes are not on him, that he's going to go and he's going to do it. And we ended up seeing a little later that does happen. So thank you, but we'll get there.
Not wrong. You're not
We'll
wrong.
get
I'll give you that.
there.
Come on, rebuttal. Come on, rebuttal. Then we find out, because this is now obviously like the week Rhysand owns her, right? So every night she gets painted. She's supposed to go in the throne room and be the entertainment, dance, get drunk.
So yeah, we find out she keeps doing this when she's with him in the bargain for the week and she gets sick. She never remembers anything, which I don't love that for her because she's about to go do her second trial and it's like, don't you want to be
Hungover, like, for the trial? Like, what are we doing? Rhysand, what are you doing to her?
Oh, and then Rhysand, he tells Feyre her second trial is tomorrow night. And when Feyre sasses him back saying his court fell too, in reference to Tamlin's court falling, she can not only see a flash of pain in his eyes at the thought, but feel it too. And I gotta talk to you about this bargain because there's so much that we see as we go on that I'm just going to get into it now, but they can feel each other. Is that just because they made a bargain? Is that just what you do when you have these powers? Is that...
I believe so. When
Okay.
there's a bargain and you're connected in that way, I think,
Because she's never had that with Tamlin where she thought she knew what he was feeling.
actually, yeah, you're right. I was going to say because she was human, but no, she's still human. So that, I mean, we've all read it to the end of the book. We know what happens at the end.
Right.
Still human when she was with she's been human this whole time.
Exactly.
Rhysand's
Yeah.
thoughts and whatever, when she doesn't have access like that to Tamlin, but they now have this bond, and so I think it's connected to the bond.
With the eye that moves on her frickin' palm of her hand.
Weird
And then
sand.
Feyre finally asks what Rhysand is getting out of this besides torturing Daddy Tam. Rhysand goes, taunting him is my greatest pleasure, but you saved my life, and through your life I saved Tamlin's. Why? He winked, smoothing his blue-black hair. That, Feyre, is the real question, isn't it? Well, sir, blue-black hair. A wink.
Hey,
It is the real question. I love the way that he just formulates words and sentences and phrases. Chef's kiss. So good.
I love
So
it.
good.
I love it. She's so cheeky and she's so funny. It reminds me of Annabelle's writing of like this
Yes.
very funny and witty.
Yep, 100%. You can feel it. You see it. So then they go to Amarantha, and Tamlin is still sitting by her side, and she demands that he read the mind of a fairy sobbing in front of her. Rhysand does and says he tried to escape by himself because he goes into the mind and he sees that the fairy tried to escape by himself. And then Feyre notes the High Lord of the Summer Court very subtly sighs a relief. Did Rhysand save the fairy? He also, it seemed like he put him out of his misery quite quick. Which I go,
We're starting to get more information about Rhysand. It would appear as though, yes, he's the bad guy, right? He's Amarantha's enforcer.
Yeah.
But there's more going on. And Feyre's clocking it, even though we don't know why or what. It would appear as though he just saved this High Lord of the Summer Court, who was visibly relieved when he went into this fairy's mind and said it was just him by himself. So he's covering for the Summer Court. Who was one of the courts that fought Amarantha. Wasn't it summer, day, and night? There were 3 courts that really fought against her, and then a whole bunch of them got slaughtered. But it would appear as though there might be some kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like alliance?
Deal between a couple of these courts.
Yeah.
Just interesting.
Yeah.
Chapter
Starting
4.
to see there are 2 sides to every story, right?
Possibly.
And the interesting thing, though, about this book is it's narrated by Feyre. So everything that we see is going to be her point of view, which, could sometimes be a little different than what's really happening because it's her POV.
Right. It's also a lot of romantasy gives you multiple point of views. So this is kind of different in its.
Because it's just been her this entire time. Sometimes books will flip back and forth, which I love that. And I also love, too, the same exact story in the other person's point of view. Like, I need to know
You're thinking
everything.
about 50 Shades of Grey right now. I know it.
You know nothing about me.
You know what? Fucking same, bitch.
It's just so good. It's so fucking good. Sorry, I'm not sorry.
Nor should you be. Chapter 40, Task 2 has begun.
Mm.
Feyre's been lowered into a pit with 3 smooth walls, and in between Feyre and the walls is Lucien, and he's tied up. Amarantha has very clearly, and this is maybe why Daddy Tam isn't reacting to anything, because the one who is Lucien, and she keeps using him to mess with Feyre. There's 3 levers, and Feyre has to read the riddles and pull the right lever, but our girl
She can't read.
can't read a thing.
Oh, gosh.
And above them is a metal spike thing that's closing in on them, and it's hot and it's coming in fast, and she's like Danny McBride and Feyre are about to get squished slowly to a horrific death. And I was quite annoyed because I was like, just go fat. Like Lucian's like, please, Feyre, please. Like,
Anything, pick one.
and it would appear as though the little eye might help her. So she, at the last sight, Lucian's screaming like, Feyre, snap out of it, because she's kind of frozen, right? 'Cause she can't read. I mean, this would be so hard. This would be so hard and so scary. She reaches for a lever. She's trying to rationalize like 2, 1, whatever. And she goes for the first lever and her hand burns so bad. She pulls it back. She's like, what the heck? And it's the one with the eye. And she goes towards the second lever and it pulls back again and it hurts. And she goes to the third one and there's no pain.
Sneaky, sneaky. Well, she kept saying to herself, yeah, I'm going to go with 2 because Tamlin and I are 2 people.
Right. Right.
She is like, you cute little cutie
Yes.
butt. And turns out that was not correct. So she hits 3,
Yes.
which there was no burn,
Right.
and she won.
Hold it. She succeeded.
Even if she cheated. It was at like the last second, too.
I know. No, I was literally reading like, come on, girl,
Poor
please.
Lucien. I was just envisioning Danny McBride.
Danny McBride, please, bitch. Come on. Here's what was so cool though. She's obviously after the trauma of that, she's about to break and cry and all the natural human emotions that you would go through. And she hears a voice in her head that says, "Do not let her see you cry. Put your hands at your sides and stand up. Stand. Don't give her the satisfaction of seeing you break. Count to 10. Don't stare at Tamlin. Stare at her." Rhysand continues, "Good girl. Now walk away."
Will say when I first read that line, I go, oh. Oh, it literally gives me chills. That's so
Not sad at all. Not
just like it. I just,
love
you know
it.
why? Because it showed like just a certain dominance with her. And to say that to someone, you got to be a little ballsy, right?
You think? Absolutely. And
Like,
she gets back to her cell and she absolutely collapses in tears.
ah, and then
Full
Reese
crash out.
comes. I know, and they both. Well, I was shocked when I read this, but he starts licking her tears. like,
Read that too, and I was like, okay.
what's going on? And I was like, okay, just trust the process. But
We don't trust the process.
it felt a little weird. And then doesn't she start laughing though? Because she's like, what are
Mm-hmm.
you doing?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'd be like, stop it.
so it worked. It worked.
I figured that would get you to stop crying. He laughs.
Oh,
He can read her thoughts.
very interesting. Okay, okay. The one thing I will say, as I continue to read, I really do like his character, obviously. I mean, even since like I first met him, it seems very interesting and smart too, and powerful. But he also is a little bit evil, and that scares me and terrifies me a little bit. But then also, I just love her and Tamlin together. I just don't want him to like try anything. I'm just kind of like, I'm like, I like you, but go with someone else. That's my hope.
I know.
You
Go
know?
find another man.
Yeah, like let another character be introduced. We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see.
Interestingly enough, though, the last thing that Feyre says, because he says, when you join me each month, I'm going to make you start learning how to read, by the way, because you should know how to read. But the last thing she says is, "It took me a while to realize that Rhysand, whether he knew it or not, had effectively kept me from shattering completely."
So she really needed him under the mountain. At this point, she's getting nothing from Tamlin. Shit.
Patty Tam's nowhere to be found. Thank God for Rhysand and Lucien, because what the heck is she would be dead a bajillion years ago.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Feyre actually starts looking forward to getting wasted with Rhysand. Like, she's decided or maybe realized that she's never going to leave this mountain alive, so she might as
Yeah.
well, like, just
YOLO, baby.
solo, bitch. Let's go. So his little shadow girlies get her ready every night and walk her down. And then all of a sudden, the adder comes down the hallway and the girls hide her. And the adder is talking to another fairy and spills some tea about the King of Hybern. And that the King of Hybern is not happy with Amarantha and this little stunt with with Feyre and the girl and this distraction. And to me, somehow the King of Hybern feels scarier than Amarantha. Amarantha seems scary, but the King of Hybern seems.
I agree with that. There's something about him. Not a good look.
Hmm.
Not a good look at all.
Interesting tea for her to get. And then all of a sudden, Feyre's back in her cell, really crashing out, right? Full crash out, crying, devastated. And all of a sudden, she hears this music. And she closes her eyes and she can see like this grand painting, like a living mural. And there was beauty in the music and beauty in goodness, she realizes. And she says this music is saving her, creating an image of a magical land that she yearns to be in.
But she needed to see it. She needed to have that happen because I mean, how could you not crash out at this point, right? This is a lot to endure and go through.
Because you're not just going through this crazy stuff, then you have like 3.5 weeks to replay the trauma in your head. So it's not like you're just running on adrenaline. You like have adrenaline and then you crash in your cell and then it's like a crazy thing. But now we're 2 days before the final trial.
That's a really good point, though. She couldn't run on adrenaline. That just what a roller coaster because it's
Yeah,
monthly, right? They do
it's
it on
exhausting.
every full moon. So then, chapter 42, the night before the final trial is here, and they're having a real big party. And a fairy's sitting on Rhysand's lap. I know you said Amarantha, but I don't think she was on his lap. I think there's just a fun little fairy taking his attention. She had like long green fingers, and Feyre was like, he'll tire soon of this fairy.
See, I read it. I read it
So
wrong.
so he was just having himself a nice little time. And so all of a sudden, Daddy Tam is there because she smells him and he's right by her side, but she does not dare look because she knows y'all got to be real careful. And then what happens from there?
Well, their little fingers graze, and fire shoots through her body, and he saunters off. They don't even make eye contact, but he goes, and I think she realizes, like, oh, he's trying to fuck.
Well, he does turn over his shoulder and he like kind of gives her he doesn't look at her, but gives her a signal of
Like,
follow me. So
so she does.
she
He
takes a separate path though. She's
right.
like trying to
He
be
goes
really
this way, he goes this
careful.
way, but they end at the same.
And what happens next? Tell me. Tell me. Tell
They
me.
have the hottest preeminent death makeout, and it looks like they're about to like just go to absolute pound town, which is not going to end well if anybody catches them. This is going to be really bad. Like they're being really ballsy, and also like, well, whatever. Rhysand shows up and coughs and goes, ahem, and says, "Shameful! Look at what you've done to my pet." And I was like, "Excuse you? She's nobody's pet. What the fuck?" Uh,
No, I love that he goes shameful.
I know.
He just kills me. He's so funny.
I love
But they were saying though that with Farah and Tamlin that this was very different than their usual kind of kisses. It was just hard and tough and like they just wanted each other so bad. Because also too, think of the circumstances. Sand, you're already hooking up with Amarantha. Get out of here. That bothers me too. Like
It
he's doing.
bothers me, but I don't think he's like being serious. I think he's just being like a cocky little fuck.
Oh, you have to explain this next part because I was about dying.
I'm sure you were. Tamlin leaves. Rhysand says, if you were that desperate for a release, you could have told me. And then he notices something. And then all of a sudden, his lips are on hers. And like his tongue is like forcing his way into her mouth. And I was like, oh, this feels so very weird. And then all of a sudden, Amarantha comes in. And I realize why he's doing it.
Yep. But you know, low key, he's liking doing this.
He's not mad about making out with this hot little like spicy human that's just kicking everybody's
Ugh.
ass. But what we realize is Tamlin, without thinking, had like messed up all of the paint on her body, and so he throws himself on her to like,
Make it look like it was him.
yes,
And Tamlin's with Amarantha when they walk in, and his eyes go a little wide, which is the first time we've ever seen a reaction, I feel, from him. And like, granted, he just showed himself to her, but he does not like Rhys at all. And seeing this after he was just kissing her, he's like, come on, man.
yeah, I would not be very happy if like the love of my life that I'm maybe about to die, and then I leave 2 seconds and you're already making out with somebody else.
And even Pharaoh was like, I really hope Tamlin understands this is not what this looks like.
Tamlin doesn't really strike me as like super logical thinker.
I mean, on one hand, I'm like, okay, it was good that Rhysand did that because it made it look like they were together. But then also, I'm like, you didn't have to like kiss her. You could have just had your hand up. But he's trying to put on a show, and or he wanted to kiss her and he
And
wanted
he
to see
wants to
what it
piss
was
Tamlin
like.
off. Don't forget, he wants to piss Tamlin off. We don't know why.
That too. But we do know that they hate each other. That is very apparent.
And that they used to be friends. Feyre's back in her cell after all this brouhaha. Rhysand joins her, shows up. His guard is down. He says Amarantha is running him ragged and that she's the only one he can talk to about this, that he's lonely, that everything he's done with Feyre, the tattoo, the kiss, was to make Tamlin so mad that when Feyre breaks the curse, Tamlin will fucking murder her. And
There you go. That's why. So he must be that powerful physically that they're like, I know that he'll turn into the beast and
it's like
freaking
that
go.
tough love, like hate me because I know the performance that you're gonna do. Some directors will do this. They'll like yell at you and try and belittle you or whatever, so that you get so mad or whatever, and then you give the performance of
Best.
a lifetime
Yeah.
scene. I don't necessarily think you always have to do that. I think you can
Yeah. Yeah. There are other ways we can
definitely other
get it
ways.
from
And
you.
Daddy Rhysand said, I'm gonna get under his skin.
And he did.
But it's interesting that he says you're the only one I can trust.
Yeah, I found that interesting too. And I do enjoy their unlikely friendship because I feel they both really needed each other under the mountain. Because I feel like she kind of does trust him too. For there is something that they're able to be for one another that I guess support even, but he has no one down there that he can trust. And also, where are the people from his court? Like Lucian's there, unless we just don't really know much obviously yet about it, but I thought that was interesting. I'm like, well, where are all his friends when they're
Nobody
at the
from the Night
parties?
Court is there,
Yeah, I
which is
don't.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought so too.
We do also find out that Rhysand's father killed Tamlin's father and his brothers. Yeah. I the last thing I said in this chapter is Rhysand has done nothing but save Feyre and in turn everyone's life. The entire date of every High Lord and their courts, so many lives, now relies on an illiterate human. And then I said, "Cauldron, boil me."
Say though, I did love this scene because this was the most vulnerable we've ever seen him, and he just needed a minute. And like, and it also made me feel really bad for him because there's all this stuff that's happening to him down there with Amarantha that he doesn't really seem to want to be doing. So he just needed a minute of peace and quiet. She's just trying to get her head together because she's got this huge trial the next day.
Yeah, yeah. So we get to the final task. Feyre walks to Amarantha. Everyone's silent. Amarantha asks if Feyre has any last words. She looks up to Tamlin. She says, I love you. No matter what Amarantha says about it, no matter if it's only with my insignificant human heart, even when they burn my body, I'll love you. I know. Dead. Dead. And we find out what her final task is, which she has to kill 3 fairies in cold blood, which is like sick.
Devastating.
They're all innocent, Amarantha says, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
None of them are guilty for anything, so you
Nope.
just have to kill them in cold blood. And then these people come out with ash knives for each, one new one for each one. The first fairy's hat comes off and he's sobbing, crying for his life, like, please don't do it, please don't do it. And she musters up doing it because she loves Tamlin so much. That's gonna fuck her up forever.
Yeah.
The second one is a woman who, like, and of course, women, we just handle stuff better. It's very clear that she understands she's a sacrifice for a greater purpose. So she's praying to the cauldron, but she, like, basically gives a wink and is like, just do it. Please just do it. So that's a little more helpful. And then who is the third fairy?
Tamlin,
Barf.
the love of her life. The one she came to do all this for. So it's either kill him and save all these people, or these people have to stay there under the mountain.
Sick. I'm sick.
I was so angry. And she
Yeah.
literally looked up to the throne, though, and she was like, where'd he go? And it was the Ador. I'm like,
He
Emma.
shapeshifted, so she thought it was Tam. So she just gave her heart out to the adder on accident because Tamlin is behind her with a fucking, like, little hood on,
Yeah, yeah.
and she's now got to kill him. But she has all these flashbacks because remember, our girl is smart AF.
Yeah, yeah.
And she remembers everybody saying to Tamlin, you have a heart of stone, a heart of stone, a heart of stone. And she goes, I wonder if the spell that got cast between Amarantha and him turned his heart into stone. So if I stab him, he'll still survive. And she banks on that, and she stabs him, and she's right. A thud. So technically, she's done everything she needs to do.
Yeah.
Right?
So
She
you'd
killed
think
them all.
you'd think that the spell was gonna just lift, but no, it did not, did it?
Yes. Amarantha is furious.
Yeah.
She claims she never
Yeah.
specified when she'd free everybody, and then she decides she's gonna kill Feyre anyway. So she starts torturing her. She starts beating the ever-loving shit out of her. This is horrific. Tamlin's watching, but he's bleeding, so he can't help because there's ash still in it. And he's like,
Yeah.
and Rhysand snaps and screams after her, and he tries to start fighting Amarantha. At least somebody is, besides Feyre. They're getting her ass.
I know.
And then Rhysand gets his ass beat, and then back to Feyre.
I know.
And right when all hope seems to be lost, she realizes the answer to Amarantha's riddle. And in turn, instantaneous freedom for everybody. And what's the answer to the riddle?
Love.
Mm.
Love is the answer. Which immediately the masks start coming off of people. And I go, oh my gosh, yes, yes, yes. But the thing is, a few things. I know a lot of people like to talk crap on Tamlin during this moment.
You've been fighting them off. You've been fighting them off on TikTok all week.
Yeah, I know. And it's like, here's the thing. He couldn't get the knife and go and try and kill Amarantha because he was still healing from just being stabbed. Okay, he doesn't have his magic. This man's power is coming back very slowly. He's crawling. He actually is crawling. And he was begging Amarantha, Amarantha, please stop. Please stop. Please stop. I'm sorry what I said about your sister. Da, 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 da. Like all the things. He's trying. This man is.
Tamlin.
No, Tamlin. Don't bring it up. Cut.
I will say,
That's so
here
good.
was the riddle again, just so we can know. There are those who seek me a lifetime, but never we meet, and those I kiss, but who trample me beneath ungrateful feet. At times I seem to favor the clever and the fair, but I bless all those who are brave enough to dare. By large, my ministrations are soft-handed and sweet, but scorned I become a difficult beast to defeat. For though each of my strikes lands a powerful blow, when I kill I do it slow. So what a beautiful answer to that.
That was crazy. I couldn't believe that. It was done just so well.
In
So well.
I know. I loved it. What happens at the very end of this chapter?
Amarantha kills her, snaps her spine. Yeah.
Snaps, breaks her back, and everybody
Yeah.
hears it, and she's dead.
Yeah. Hate that. But by the way, as we continue in, Feyre's watching all of this happen. She's watching it through a different set of eyes, though, not her own. And at first you're like, who is it? And then they share it's Rhysand. And I'm like, what is going on that her soul is gone from her body, clearly. I mean, she's dead. Like, she's gone. This is it. And she somehow goes into Rhysand's body. Does it have to do with the bargain? Is there something
I
else?
think it's that kind of like bargain bondy thing they have going on because right when everybody's masks fall off, everybody's power comes back, and Daddy Tam launches at Amarantha and like doesn't he like pierce her to the wall and rip her throat out?
Yeah, with his literal mouth, rips her throat out and kills
Hot.
this fucking bitch.
Hot. I love it.
Bye, Amarantha.
I
See you.
But
Bye, honey.
this bitch is dying. And
Yeah, about
Lucien throws Tamlin a sword. He shoves it through her head, pinning her to the stone, and then rips her throat out. And then goes back to Feyre. And
And he's sobbing over her, holding her in his arms. I mean, and then because all the High Lords were there, they were able to walk.
them.
Yeah, she just saved them. And so they all walk up one by one and they've got some magic in their hand and they kind of sprinkle it down on her. And what's Rhysand say when he goes up? Now we're even.
I love it.
I was like, what's going on? What's
He doesn't
happening?
seem very happy about this either, but I
No.
what Rhysand's deal is.
Well, because apparently putting someone back together again, I forget what they call it, but it's very, very unlikely to happen. Very rare. Because the
You have
lords,
a little drop of something from every High Lord.
correct. And they're rarely together. When are they ever together? You know, that's the thing. So
Exactly.
they're like, well, she saved us, so I guess we'll do it. But you could kind of feel a little bit that they were a little sketched about doing it. I don't know if you picked up on that, but
Sure. Listen, these are arrogant, beautiful men that
yeah.
don't want to give away even an ounce of their power. And in their defense, I suppose they've been powerless for 50 years. So, like, the thought
Yeah.
of giving some of their power away right off the jump is probably not the best. But they do understand that this girl just saved everybody and sacrificed herself. So they
Yeah.
honor Tamlin by, giving her a little thing. Little.
Now, is she happy about becoming a Fae?
Well,
Fairy?
46, Feyre was like swimming around in something weird. I don't know, the unknown, Stranger Things.
Yep. Yep.
And then she gasps. She's awake and alive and glowing. And holy shit, she's a fae. And I say, lucky bitch.
I mean, that'd be incredible. Come on.
I would
Come
love.
on.
I'd love to be a fairy. She sees Daddy Tam, mask free, places her hands on his heart and feels it beating again. It's no longer stone. She sees Amarantha is dead. Everybody's free, and all Feyre can think about are the two fairies that she slaughtered.
I know. Just awful. Just awful. Well, and also too, when she sees Tamlin without his mask, she goes, he was exactly as I'd hoped he'd be. And I was like, because remember, she thought all those times for so long, like, what do you look like under there? And now that's got to be kind of trippy.
It's got to be so crazy. The PTSD that she's going through right now, because they're still stuck under the mountain for a little bit. So, like, they go to a
Yeah.
room to crash for the night. I don't know. I'd want to get the fuck out of there.
Wouldn't you want to leave? I'd be like, I'm out.
I would want to leave, but I
Out.
guess if you're recovering, you can't. I don't know. All I know is that they have sex.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. And this time, though, it's not hard and crazy like they're kissing in the room under the mountain. It's just love.
I know.
Love is what it is.
It's so beautiful and sweet, and I knew that you would love that part. As you should. And while she's asleep, she gets woken up. There's like a little tug on her bond, and she realizes it's Rhysand. So she greets him outside. She sees the outside for the first time in forever, and she says,
Yeah.
"Why?" She asks him, Why did you save me? Why all these things?" And Rhysand replies that when the history books are written, he didn't want to go down being on the sidelines,
Oh,
and because he didn't want her to die alone.
which is what she said to the fairy in the spring court in the very beginning.
Were cut off. He said, "Everything I love has a tendency to be taken from me."
Mm.
He says when Feyre asks him if he actually enjoys his wings, because now she sees him in like his
Full
full.
form, yeah.
And this was so wild. Right as he's about to disappear, he locks eyes with Feyre, and a look of utter shock crosses his face, and then he disappears. And
He
I remember
also
reading that and being like, "What?"
Well, because he stumbled too. He gives her this shock look. He stumbles back, and Rhysand does not stumble. This
No.
man is so graceful, elegant, and he stumbled back, and then before he could say anything, he dipped. So what the hell did he see? And how do you end this book on me like this?
What a wild
Sarah?
What a what? Thank God. The good thing about you reading it so much later on is that you get to go back to back to back. You don't have to wait.
It's the only way I could do it. I don't think I could have waited years in between. I couldn't. This book, 5 out of 5 for me, baby. Just,
6 out.
yes. 1,000 out of 5. I'm gonna go on Goodreads and give it 1,000 out of 5. It was just so beautifully done and well written and smart and interesting, and I now need to know so much more. Like, oh my God, the bargain. That's like my most favorite thing I'm excited to read about.
I have so many questions. I want to watch them ride off into the sunset. Like, I want to see what people's lives are like now. Is everything okay? Was Amarantha the only threat? Like, I have so many questions. And
That's true too.
we're going to dive into book 2 for September.
Court of Mist and Fury. We will be covering chapters 1 through 13 next week. So give yourself a little time, get ahead of it. But I literally am just so excited now to read this because you know how it is when you end a book and you're like, I need to know immediately.
The book hangover is the worst. Thank God we have a second book and a third and a fourth.
If we didn't, I'd freak out. But like you said, I really hope we get to see Tamlin and Feyre have just like their little happy ever after, whatever that means. Is that engagement? Is that a wedding? Is that a baby? Is that taking time and traveling for a little bit? I don't know, because also too, everyone just went through a lot of shit.
Maybe we give it a sec to let everyone heal from what the F they just experienced.
Totally. Like that and for her too, she killed 2 fairies.
Well, and this is like not, I know the Fae like kill people and they live for hundreds and hundreds of years, so they've all been through everything you can probably think of.
Damn, she's a little human.
Yeah.
19 years old, 20 years old. She's a
Brain isn't
baby.
fully developed yet. Like,
Exactly.
so
There's a big difference in their emotional intelligence because of their age gap.
now women are always more mature than men.
That's true too. So she's probably still more mature than him.
I still give it to Feyre, but it's closer than it would be.
500 years.
19. And she's still got a leg up.
Good. Well, guys, thank you again. Another book. I just can't believe we wrapped another book. This was one of my absolute favorites. I loved it
that makes
so
me
much.
Happy to hear. And
So
don't
good.
worry, I know that A Court of Mist and Fury is she's a big girl, okay?
It's
But we have
okay.
5 weeks in September.
Oh, good point. Good point. Very good point. So again, chapters 1 through 13 next week we'll be covering. Thank you again, Bunchies, for another book of the month. This has been amazing. We love you guys. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.